After his fight against Renato Moicano, Islam Makhachev sent the MMA world into a frenzy by saying he would even face Dricus du Plessis for a second belt. Following this statement and du Plessis' response, Makhachev revisited the topic and guaranteed that he would accept the fight without hesitation. He confidently claimed to have all the necessary skills to defeat the middleweight champion. Check out Makhachev's controversial statement, where he also discusses who should be his next opponent in the lightweight division, ruling out Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan. Also, hear from Charles Oliveira's coach, who shares his perspective on the Brazilian's next steps, and if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, it's free. First, here's what Islam Makhachev said about Dricus du Plessis and his desired lightweight opponent, while dismissing the possibility of rematches with Charles Oliveira or Arman Tsarukyan. My height allows it. I think my physical attributes allow it too. I just need to work with my specialists, gain muscle mass, add a little weight. I think I can try. As I already said at the press conference after the fight, if they offered it to me tomorrow and said they will give me time, I would not turn it down. I would 100% agree to fight at middleweight. I'm not saying that I have a better chance, that I can 100% finish du Plessis, but watching his fights, watching his style, I think I have the keys to victory. I don't see a lot of work to do in my division, I beat almost everybody. I think about moving up to 170 and I can stay there. I don't want to make any statements about Belal Muhammad or Shavkat Rakhmonov, we will see how the fight goes. I have not spoken to the UFC since my last fight, we need to sit and talk about these moments. Well, I like this idea of fighting Gaethje because I haven't fought Justin yet, and if you look at the others on the list, Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, I've already fought them and preparing for the same opponent is not such a big motivation. If Gaethje shows himself well in the next fight, we can meet. Islam's coach, Javier Mendes, has already guaranteed that the Russian can easily fight at middleweight. Mendes even claimed that Makhachev could secure up to 3 titles in the organization. Check out his thoughts on this and what might come next for Makhachev in the lightweight division, and if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, it's free.
No, it all depends. Let's see what happens. If Shavkat can get Belal, which, you know, I'm not pulling for Shavkat, but if he does, you know, but Shavkat's a great fighter, man. So I don't know, you know, Belal is the type of fighter that when he comes to fight, he shows up to fight, and the Belal you get in the real fight is not the Belal you see in training. So this guy, he performs. He's a performer. So let's see what happens, you know. But if for some reason something happens or Belal moves up in weight after, hopefully he beats Shavkat. If he does, then maybe he'll go up in weight. And then we'll go after the 170. I would definitely like that. That would be great, an ideal situation. You know, I mean, I could see Islam potentially there. Cut my face again. I can see Islam going for 3 titles, weight divisions. He's capable of. Although 185 would be a lot tougher, he still has the ability. He has the strength too. I can tell you that. He is one of the strongest guys I've ever had to handle. You know, at his weight. You know, like tussling with him. I'm like, damn, this guy's strong. Really, really strong. Fantastic. You go fantastic. I've seen him go with heavyweights in the gym that are really good, and he's whooping on them. So. I mean, and I don't like it because when he's going with heavyweights, I go, what are you doing with heavyweights? You shouldn't be going with heavyweights. It was in Dagestan. And I said, hey, he goes, no, coach, it's okay. I go, no, it's not okay, because if those guys land one good shot on you, it can change everything. Justin Gaethje, because he has the bottom. I'm pulling for him. I'm not pulling for Dan Hooker. I'm not going to pull for a guy that's always against us. No way. And Justin Gaethje is a cool-ass dude. And actually, I'll tell you this: Dan Hooker, as of recently, I'm enjoying his talks too and his fighting. Now he's a stud, but he hates us, so I'm against him. I enjoy that guy. He's fun to watch. He's must-watch TV. I like what he's doing. I like the stuff he says. I'm a fan. I know he's got the best boxing in the business for me. You know, and he's very entertaining in how he talks. He doesn't talk about nobody else but the fighter themselves, and I respect that about that guy.
Although Islam Makhachev is considered by many to be the best fighter in the world right now, Dricus du Plessis doesn't appear to be intimidated by the Russian statements. Here's du Plessis' response to Makhachev. Firstly, incredible performance by him. Moicano is a great fighter, and for Islam to do what he did, incredible champion and a great fighter. And kudos for saying what he did afterward. I didn't make much of it, though. I guess, good on him for trying that. He won't get that fight now, it wouldn't make sense. But if there should ever be a time where there is nobody to challenge me, nobody for him to challenge, yeah, cool. Look, he trains with 185 airs in his gym. But there is only one world champion. So kudos to him for saying what he did, but it doesn't really matter because I'll overpower him in any situation. I know he walks around heavy. But I walk around heavy. He's a big lightweight, I'm a big middleweight. There's a big difference there. Regarding Makhachev's interest in fighting Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira's coach, Diego Lima, has a different take. He stated that Oliveira would be more than ready for a fight with Makhachev in June or July, a timeline the Russian himself mentioned, and if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, it's free. I believe the scenario remained pretty much the way we imagined and wanted, with Charles being the next contender. Dana White said Arman will have to do another fight first, and there's no point in doing Arman and Charles, in my opinion. Makhachev is our next challenge, but we know he's the champion. We depend on him to know what our next step is. Every time you talk about Charles, his team says they have no interest, says we need to wait a little bit more and all that because Charles brings more danger to Makhachev because he has good grappling. But he lost the first fight. Cool, we lost, but I believe that any person that understands fighting knows how dangerous Charles is. If you blink, he catches you. I spoke with Charles a lot, and he told me, Lima, I don't want to wait a whole year. I want Makhachev in the middle of the year. I want the belt. But if Makhachev only fights in October, I don't want to stay out for a year. I would like to be fighting in the summer against Max Holloway for the BMF belt. To stay active, to fight for a belt, to put on a big fight I deserve, and then fight Makhachev. But if Makhachev really fights in July, that's exactly what I want. It seems Islam Makhachev doesn't want rematches anymore. He's seeking fresh challenges and, above all, a second belt. If he pursues that goal, both Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan will likely be sidelined for a while. Regarding a second belt, a fight with Dricus du Plessis makes even more sense now, especially after Makhachev and Khabib dismissed the idea of fighting Belal Muhammad, the welterweight champion, leaving middleweight and du Plessis as the logical next step. Well, folks, Islam Makhachev seems determined to win his second belt and is seriously considering moving up more than one weight class to make it happen. But what about you? Do you believe Makhachev can defeat Dricus du Plessis? Leave your opinion in the comments so we can discuss it. If you're a true MMA fan and want to stay updated on everything happening in the fight world, be sure to check out these other two videos appearing on the screen. These videos are super important, and I'm absolutely certain you'll enjoy them and stay well informed on the latest MMA news. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help promote the content. See you next time.